Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's doing great out there on this Super Bowl Sunday. He spent the morning over at the Kaseya Center today as the Miami Heat introduced their new players after shipping Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors, who had a pretty tremendous debut for them last night. Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and Davion Mitchell all introduced to the media today after the Miami Heat had their gala last night. And I think my favorite part of it, honestly, from the press conference, wasn't like the most memorable quote-filled press conference in the world, to be fair. Those guys, I mean, I would say like this. You know, everybody in the Warriors right now, if you listen to them with the Jimmy Butler, they're gushing because Jimmy knows how to turn it on. He knows how to be a charmer for the cameras. And, you know, especially with the way that he played, going out there, and, you know, has the jersey change and has the bromance with Steph. And so, like, all that stuff's going to go very, very viral. I wouldn't say anything here was a particularly viral moment or memorable. Maybe that's good for the Heat. I feel like too many press conferences have been going viral for them lately. This was almost as Heat culture a press conference as a press conference can get, because you bring three guys into the fold that are exactly what the team needs. Andrew Wiggins, a champion pterodactyl, wingspan for days. And I think my favorite part of the press conference was honestly when Pat Riley was doing his introduction of the players, and he goes, all right, we got to wait for the big boss. That's your head coach. And I thought that, first of all, goosey that Pat says that, because I do think sometimes Spo's influence on things can be undersold on the realm. And I know that a lot of fans are saying, hey, Spo is having a down season. He's having a bad season. He's having his worst season. He's been, you know, not up to snuff of what we expect an Eric Spoelstra team to be. But I will say a couple of things here. One, Pat Riley used the term as he was walking up. He goes, look at him. He's drooling.
I'll leave this open in a minute to the media, but we do have the boss. Where is he? That's your head coach. Here he comes. He's drooling. I have to get at you guys today. Just stand up.
And you want to know why, dude? Because Eric Spoelstra, through and through, is built in the mud, and he loves defense. And I think when he looked on that podium, he saw three dogs up there who can go defend. You got a giant pterodactyl in Andrew Wiggins. You got a guy in Kyle Anderson who's been around the block, who makes things difficult on guys, a savvy vet into the fold. And you have Davion Mitchell, off night, which is a great nickname, by the way, all feeling like they're going to fit into the mold immediately. And while it's not probably going to be like the sexy end of the trade, it does fill something for the Heat, because essentially you're getting something for nothing. And I don't mean to put Jimmy Butler in that category. I just mean they really just had Jimmy Butler's salary at that point, because the bridge was so burned, it was ethered, it was gone. And he wasn't coming back. And the Miami Heat needed to fill that void some way. It's a salary cap sport. They've been in that position before where they've had to basically have albatrosses on the books, and you have nothing to do with it, nothing you can do with it. And now they could do something with it. And, you know, the one thing I would say that is going to be interesting with this trade in particular is that the pressure is going to be on right away. Like, we're going to get new look Heat up against some real hefty competition, two juggernauts right out of the gate, where they're hosting the Boston Celtics, this new era of Heat basketball, which really was defined in a lot of ways by Jimmy's ability to little brother the Boston Celtics many a time. And now you bring in Andrew Wiggins, who maybe does not have that persona of like, oh, it's Andrew Wiggins' team. That's just never been his MO. But the dude was a demon on Jason Tatum. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, isolation defenders in the league. And from his standpoint, it's exactly what the Heat need right now. Whether you lose Jimmy Butler, even at his apex, you lose that tenacity and you lose that. And it's just been so noticeable how things have been falling flat on their face. The Miami Heat can't stop anybody. They can't turn anybody over. And you remember back in preseason, that was like such a theme of the team. It's like, we're going to turn teams over. We're going to get out. We're going to get easy buckets in transition. So many quarters are falling apart because they just can't stay in front of anybody and get drives going or stop the bleeding. You're hopeful when Pat Riley says Spo's drooling up there, because he gets the motors going. He gets the gears going. And while this is not maybe going to be the sexiest debut, I imagine it certainly isn't like the most buzzworthy press conference in the world. Low-key guys who get after it defensively, and they're not like headline grabbers. So it's all going to be, you're all going to like hopefully fall in love with the team and the moves that they made on the court. And you're going to see that right away. There is a lot of pressure with this coming out of the gate with Boston, OKC, and Dallas going into the All-Star break. Not to say it's going to make or break the season, because look, at the most that he could be 3 games over 500 based on their MO. They'll probably go 1-2, 2-1, and that'll just be, so it'll be probably, 1 over by the time they get to the break, or 1 under right by the time we get to the break. But Miami is in this spot right now where they have had some ugly losses, and they do need to now have this clarity lifted off their shoulders a little bit. And we'll see what that brings to the fold for them, because I think everybody else, you think about just off the debuts, like Aaron Fox, incredible debut, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis before the groin injury was killing it with protests going on outside for Luka Doncic. And so I do think there's an element to the Heat fan that understands where the franchise is at and doesn't have any illusions that this could be a contending season. But you want to know that, all right, this is going to get put together and this is going to have a real impact. This is going to make a difference, because it's hard to replace a Jimmy Butler. It's not like an easy transition that you go over to. It's going to be exciting to see Bam and Tyler take the mantle and see how other guys flourish and all that. But you do need to find that that key piece there that can really, make you gear towards another direction. But I do like Eric Spoelstra in the second half of seasons. Give him some time to reflect with what the team is going to do. And then the interesting thing for Wiggins is, he's in the spot on this deal that's a little bit different, because he didn't want to go. He didn't want to leave Golden State. He loved Golden State. It was emotional for him leaving Golden State. People are crying that he's leaving. But Wiggins, look at him schmoozing. Look how fast they forgot, huh? Oh, they got a new BFF in town. They're already forgetting about their beloved champion all of a sudden. Well, this is his chance. His chance is to go and make this impact for this Heat team. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see how Eric Spoelstra, who's drooling over all this, takes these guys, makes an impact with it, how he gets to play with the new toys, how it keys in with the rotation, and if there's going to be tweaks, because I think everybody can see that it feels like there needs to be some kind of a bridge somewhere with the way this team is playing basketball. That for sure has been noticeable. And the way that there's just these ruts for them, they got to figure out a way to tune those things up. And you're going to get to do it with a heavyweight fight right off the bat. To my knowledge, everybody's playing tomorrow for Boston. I haven't really looked at their injury report. But even if they're not, let's just say even if they have pieces, they're a pretty stacked team. They got everything going for it. So, I guess Porzingis missed the last game with an illness. So, nobody dealing with anything too hefty that I'm aware of with them. Get that going. OKC. If the Miami Heat, look, if this can come out, if Miami can come out and surprise people and play well against these teams, maybe it gets everybody juiced up a little bit to go into this. You'll have a cool weekend with Tyler Hero going to the All-Star game, the 3-point contest, Rising Stars, and we'll see how it all pans out for everything. But certainly with the backdrop of the way Jimmy's debut went, everybody buzzing up there, you would like the same result on the other side. That Miami has obviously got much tougher competition than the Warriors did. They had to play the Bulls, and now they're getting the Bucks without Giannis, who's going to miss the next couple of weeks. So they got a little bit of a softer open for their new look team than the Miami Heat do, which is basically right into the buzzsaw. But bring it on. Like, that's what it's all about. And we'll see what this is going to mean for this franchise and what this trade is going to do. But I'm very, very curious to see what this brings to the table and how it changes the dynamic of the Miami Heat now that all this is behind them, but now they also have some added pieces to it. The drama's behind them. The drama's gone. Will that have any addition by subtraction while also adding pieces that could be useful to Eric Spoelstra? Let's see if Pat Riley's right that Spo's drooling and is already in the lab figuring out how to use his new toys.